Huh? That's the combination.
This is binomial, right?
This is the binomial. So if I was actually doing this now, that means that this piece right here was, what did you just say? 924?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to look at it, and I now want to know what this piece is. So what's the probability of being correct?
0.25.
0.25, and I wanted to get 6 of those. Now, I'm going to use Excel as my calculator. So here I'm just going to do my probability of C raised to the K power. So I come down here and it equals, what box does my probability of C live in?
5.
B5. And I want to raise that to the K power. Where does K live?
B3.
B3. I'm just clicking on the boxes where those numbers live, because then I don't have to type them in, and that gives me that, and then I'm going to come back and I want to format that much bigger.
We're going to be able to use our computers?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Huh? V9. It's this raised to the K power. Probability of this raised to the K power. See, forget what the formula is, because you guys can type things in different boxes. It's, where does it live? Look at what is the number. What does it represent? K represents the number. And then this part of it would be what?
0.75.
0.75 to the, well, 12 minus 6.
Which is 6.
Which is 6, okay? But I'm still going to write 12 minus 6. And you'll see why in about to answer the second part of the question. So I'm now going to come down here, and I'm going to do the probability of C naught raised to the n minus k. So where does the probability of C naught live?
B6.
B6. And I'm going to raise that to the n minus k.
Which is 6.
Yeah, but I'm still going to put it in parentheses and say n minus k.
Okay, I get that. How'd you get the combination again? What'd you put in?
I just typed it combination of n things taking k at a
Equals
time.
combination.
Of n
See right there?
yeah.
Combination
Uh-huh.
of n things taken n at a time. They use number and number chosen.
Okay,
So it's your N.
so it's my n.
And the number chosen is your k. How many?
So it's just a comma 6,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Parentheses.
Oh, okay, now it came out right, because I tried that, it was, okay, it was the parentheses, I guess that's what it's okay.
Oops.
We can have our flashcard, right?
Yeah. And then how do I finish this formula?
924 times.
I take this,
Times by that.
I take this, times this, times that. I just multiply those three numbers. Again, if I'm doing this on a calculator, it's easy to get lost. If I'm doing it on Excel, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to take this times this, oops, times this. I'm just going to multiply those three numbers. So this says I have about a 4% chance of guessing exactly 6 correct
Wow, damn.
out of 12.
Oh, man.
So guessing is not a good strategy.
Oh, guessing.
Yeah. Now, the only difference between this and the second part. This one says at what? At most 6. So that means I can get 6 correct. I can get 5 correct. I can get 4 correct. I can get 3 correct. I can get 2 correct. I can get 1 correct, or I can get none. So that means I have to do basically what we just did for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So I have to do what we just did 7 times.
Oh, gosh.
Now see, if you did it once, it's not that bad. Because see, how'd I get this? This is just a combination of 12 things taken 6 at a time, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm now just going to take this, and I'm going to leave this, and I'm going to run this all the way across. And I'm probably going to have to do some. And then I'm just going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And I don't need these. I went too far. So my K just keeps getting smaller. Now I'm going to take this and let's see if I can squeeze this onto one screen.
I didn't know you could do it.
Do it like what?
You highlight it and then you move one box and it shrinks it all one time. That's
You have to
awesome.
highlight all the, you have to get up here in the banner and highlight from the banner. And then if you have all the banners, you can size all the columns at one time, equal.
That's awesome.
And now, these aren't going to change all the way across, are they? My probabilities are going to be the same all the way across. Shoot. And see, Excel tried to think I wanted to change them. I can't do that. Maybe I can drag this one across. Yeah, let me drag that one across. And this one I just, see, this is why I wrote the formula 1 minus that. Because now I can just drag that across, and all those are there. And remember, we wrote all 4 of these formulas just using the boxes, right? So if I get on here, I can just drag this across, and I just calculated it for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
So when you drag it, you're using a crosshair.
Yes.
Okay, that's where I screw up. I do something else and it messes up my numbers.
Yeah.
Got it.
And if I want to know the probability of being 6 or less, I just have to remember to get a probability. If it's or, we do what? No.
You add and subtract.
The probability of A or B is equal to what?
A
The probability of A, no,
plus probability of B minus probability of A and B.
Now, here's where we got to think about it. In this particular problem, can you be correct and incorrect at the same time?
Yeah.
No, if you're right, you can't be wrong, and if you're wrong, you can't be
Okay.
correct. So the probability of being A and B is what? 0. So that means the probability of being A or B is just the probability of A plus the probability of B. So that means if I want to go back and I want the probability of 6 or 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 0, it's just the sum of all these. So I've got about a 98% chance of getting that 6 or less correct. Which makes sense.
What is that last one? Why is there a third one? That, yeah, what is that?
That's the sum.
That's not the
That's the
sum. What's the
Oh,
formula?
oh,
That is the-
adding them all, okay.
The combination times the
Oops.
whatever and the whatever.
The combination of 12 or 6, 12 or 5.
Remember the formula for the binomial model
Okay.
is the combination of n things taken k at a time times the probability of being correct to the k power times the probability of being not correct to the n minus k power.
Okay.
So I have to multiply these three numbers.
So we just type in product and highlight all three?
There's the first number, there's the second number, and there's the third number. So I just have to multiply those three.
So what are you calling it though?
Huh?
What is it called?
What is it called when you multiply?
Product.
Product. I didn't use the word product this time. I just
Just 1, 2, 3.
I just said this times this times this. I just actually wrote it as multiplying three numbers. I could have used the word and said equal product and highlighted the three. I won't have one this difficult on the test.
Oh, thank goodness.
I might have one where you have to calculate one column, not multiple columns. But that will be on the final.
Yeah, because that one still doesn't give us the mean or the standard deviation. We still have to figure all that out.
Don't need the mean or the standard deviation on this particular model.
I can skip that. Okay. What is this on, part 8 of 9 says upload your file, the one take home one, your name? What is that, take home one?
Where's this?
It's right after number 17. Part 8 of 9.
Oh, if, upload the Word file, the Excel file where you did your graphs,
Oh,
your pie charts and that.
oh. Okay.
But I'm not gonna look at it, so if you don't upload it, that's fine, just as long as you can do it. This is not a graded assignment.
Alrighty.
And I already did that back here. See, I've got all my, see, we did made that frequency table for the SAT scores. How would you describe this frequency? How would you describe this distribution?
Skewed to the right.
Skewed. Okay, so you have to be able to tell me whether something's skewed or not. You're gonna have to make a histogram and tell me whether it's skewed, symmetric. If it's symmetric, you can you can estimate whether or not it's normal by looking at how many pieces of data are in each category. Population, I talked about making the pie charts. Gotta watch out for duplicated data.
There was that one about the gas thing that nobody knew what that was.
Yeah, I didn't get
The
it.
very beginning.
Yeah, that's because that question is gone.
Oh, okay.
You don't see a tab for gas scores, gas prices. That one, sometimes what you gotta remember is I change some things and I don't always check changing throwing certain things out, throwing certain tabs out, and I took the tab out of the Excel sheet, but I didn't take the reference out of it on the whole overall test. Cause I would go crazy if I rewrote these every time. It actually takes, like, when I wrote that test the first time, it took me about 15 hours to write that test and get it all in there. So when I threw that up for you to do a practice exam, and see, here's where I get in trouble sometimes because I don't always go to the same speed. I go faster or slower as this class will allow.
Right now,
Can you go a little bit slower?
No, I cannot go slower.
No, Mr. Lord, if everybody doesn't understand, not everybody, don't take that back. A lot of people don't understand.
Are you reading the book?
Yeah.
Are you writing down
Understand what's in
definitions?
the book, no.
Are you writing down definitions?
Yeah.
Okay, if you write down the definitions and study the definitions, you should be okay. Now, you gotta also write down the different formulas in that and understand what standard deviation and the different aspects of that are. And actually, I got about 2 more weeks of doing things. And then we're just going to take and everything that we've been doing, apply it in a bunch of different situations. And we're gonna start working on it and doing it over and over and over again. I do have to get to continuous probabilities. So far, we've been to discrete probabilities.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that I'm going to have to take this class again. I'm wondering if next semester when we do this, if we could have little quizzes rather than some big quizzes.
More practice, in
Yeah.
other words.
Like 2 chapters or 2 subjects quiz. Because having to remember everything is it's impossible for me.
It's pretty crazy.
Just wondering, just throwing it out there for next.
I've done it both
Don't be like
ways.
me.
I've done it both ways, and basically the grades distribute about the same either way. And the aspect behind it is that every time I give a test, I lose I lose a week. And then, so if I give 4 tests, means I only have
The word-
10 to 12
wording
weeks
is
to
what- yes.
get out all the material. So it's a matter of timing and
Can you make it like all multiple
Vocabulary
choice?
test.
Like seriously, all multiple choice?
You wouldn't want me to do that, trust me.
So how are we gonna find the data to know which one is correct, right?
Trust me, I've done it with multiple choice tests because people have asked me to, and almost inevitably, every time I've gone to making multiple choice tests,
Everybody thought.
everybody's grades went down, and they begged me never to give another multiple choice test.
Why? Why is that?
Because I know how to write multiple choice questions.
Oh, you sure?
No, I know how to write a good multiple choice question. Most people don't know how to write good multiple choice questions.
You don't need to be so hard. It's so
Yeah.
Can you make it a little
Much
easier?
information.
It's a lot easier for you to grade.
Huh?
It's so much.
Oh, it's just a lot of information, that's why we try
So
and,
much information.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I understand, but I just, it's just a little, yeah.
Yes.
You will all do fine.
That's not true.
Unless you have a negative attitude.
Okay, I'm gonna do great.
Ready? I will do fine. Don't set your expectations. I will do great. I will do
The
fine.
only thing I'm hoping out of this class is I pass with a C, and I'm good.
Say, I will do fine.
My fast
Did
will
you
be
just
fine.
indirectly interpretation?
On
You
every
will
part
all
of C, that's all it's gonna
do
get.
fine. Make sure you have your index card and that you have your notes and different formulas on there. If you ask me for a formula, I will probably give it to help you with it. If you ask me if your formula is correct.
I'm also
Okay.
gonna say, look, I have the formula, but how do I do this in Excel?
I got the Excel part, that's the easy
Yeah, it's
part.
that.
In X,
Trying
just
to
I'm trying to
remember,
figure out which
Excel,
formula to use.
Exactly. To me, it's like, I see the formula, I'm not sure how to translate
I
that.
just
to
need a
Excel.
C, that's all I need.
I see what the
Ask me to do a bin, and ain't gonna happen. I forget already.
the word bin has IN in it. What does the IN stand for? Interval. What's an interval?
Whatever you want it to be, I don't know.
Numbers between.
An interval is just, if I talk about an interval of time, it's a,
Yeah.
right? They're just groups. And the groups can vary in,
So when you tell us that to put it into bins, are you gonna give us a number?
not necessarily, your first interval has to be, include what?
That's part of it.
Minimum?
There you go. The first group has to, the first number, which is normally going to be the smallest or the minimum. Your last bin has to include the highest number, and your bins have got to be
The same. size.
equal width.
Oh, okay.
So there, you got it. Intervals, you know what they are.
So just FYI, what if we gotta stay after your class is done? You really need to stay because I'm probably gonna stay. I'm gonna be here very late.
We gotta be out of here by 9 o'clock, because that's when Mary gets off. And we gotta be out of here so that she can leave on time.
But we're starting the test
First
on
time.
when we get here.
We will start the test when we get here.
What,
And
an hour?
the test will be half
6:45
online,
till
half in
9.
person.
And the test will be half online and half in here. So you will have some questions, and then I will have part of it on Alima, and then you will have from Thursday until Sunday to do that and turn it in.
And then the in-person will be on the computer.
The in-person will be tomorrow night, or Thursday
No, I
night.
mean like the in-person, the questions will be on the computer, not on paper. For both.
Both. If I give you a data file, I will give you the question, but I will also give you the file with the data.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Study session tomorrow night at 7 over here.
7. Okay.
Come, John.
Come down.
I'm gonna finish early tomorrow.
My class goes from 7 till 8:30 tomorrow night. So if you, and that's a small class, so you guys can probably sit in the back of the classroom and do it. Or in this room over here, if it's big enough, and then you can sort of cheat and get me to answer some questions or whatever. I can't spend the whole class with you, but I can help somewhat.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try.
And you will all do fine.
And if
You heard
you
him.
need this, so 50 on
He's
the
gonna
first
pass
one,
us no
50
matter
on the
what.
second one, right?
No, I won't pass you no matter what. But you'll all do fine. And if you don't do quite as well as you would like, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Extra credit, that's a good question, extra credit.
Huh?
Extra credit.
No.
You offer it?
I have a solution that I do most of the time in this class on the first test. So don't overly, just do your best.
Okay. Say goodbye.